The moon provides benefit from the heavens. This is a special area that I want you to notice. Now, first of all, we have brackets. There will be some language here that the secularists use, and our scholars in this audience and other audiences have been trained in the very finest universities in the world, but they have seen the truth of creation. That's the reason they run around with us. The brackets, the secular explanations for Earth's magnetic field, given in the next few paragraphs, do not account for its origin at creation or its disruption at the flood. So they do not even take that into consideration. But we understand that those were actual truths. So here's the quotation. But it does show that in spite of the fact that they do not account for creation or the activities of the flood, the moon plays a major role, and among those is the Earth's magnetic field. Viewed from space, Earth is a serene blue sphere. But beneath its surface, there's a roiling mass of liquid nickel-iron alloy and solid iron almost 6,000 miles in diameter. That's true. The inner and outer core comprise almost a third of Earth's mass, and together they generate, we added the brackets, they actually maintain what had been created previously. They cannot, there is no way they can kickstart this. The evolutionary biologists ignore the major problem. You can't kickstart life. All the ingredients of a cell have to be in place. All the ingredients of an entity, the functional organs, have to be in place for it to operate, for it to function. Otherwise, it begins to biodegrade very quickly. And in a matter of minutes or hours, it's dead. So it's kickstarting this thing. So when we get to Earth's magnetic field, they ignore, now they privately admit, and I've read a number of technical articles where they say, well, we got a problem, but we don't talk much about it. We'll solve it sooner or later. It's never come. But the problem is, how do you get the thing to start for all this to work? Same for astronomy. How do you get this solar system to have all of these entities in balance? Well, we'll figure it out sooner or later. Oh, you don't have enough lifetimes for that. Back to the idea. Actually, maintain a magnetic field that shields life on this planet from harmful charged particles emanating from the sun. Those charged particles are absolutely necessary to maintain the magnetic field, so it's maintained from those charged particles, and it's maintained from a pumping action inside, and the moon plays a major role. This is awesome. In a study published in the journal Earth and Planetary Science Letters, scientists from National Center for Scientific Research in France say that the moon plays a key role keeping life on Earth safe. Researchers believe its gravitational tug churns iron alloy in the core, which in turn helps maintain the magnetic field that protects our planet. Wow! According to the classical dynamo theory, and this is the one that's full of major problems, Earth's magnetic field is generated by movement of its electrically conductive liquid outer core of iron. Well, generated, no. Maintained, yes. Molten iron in the outer core generates an electric current as it moves, which produces the magnetic field. If the field wasn't continually generated, Dennis Adrault and his team estimate it would disappear in about 20,000 years. 20,000 years is a snap of the finger in evolutionary time. So what keeps, still the technical citation, what keeps the outer core moving? Just as the moon's gravity controls the tides, and we're all aware of that, so too does it act on the liquid outer core and mostly solid mantle, Adrault and his team contend. They estimate that the moon's pull injects over 1,000 billion watts of power into the Earth's core, acting as a kind of gravitational engine, providing the energy necessary to power the geodynamo and maintain the blistering temperatures inside the Earth. The constant stirring creates friction that, along with convective currents, produces the heat necessary to keep the core flowing and the magnetic field intact. Somebody set it up. The forces exerted by the moon are in slow but constant flux. Watch this. Because the Earth wobbles slightly as it spins on its axis, the gravitational pull of the moon is exerted at different places with varying strengths over time. I love this. This variation deforms the mantle, squeezing the core beneath in a rhythm that churns the molten metal and propagates circular motion. In support of this concept, astronomers have already determined that the gravitational forces exerted by moons of other planets, such as Jupiter's Io and Europa, can influence magnetic fields. Wow. Could life on Earth survive without the moon? This is a good point to ask, not that question, but the general question. Professor, would you please come to the microphone?